Okay, this is the quiz review for 514. I recommend that you make sure you listen to this before you take the quiz. Okay, there's two different types of lines that we're going to be talking about. The first are parallel lines. Remember, parallel lines run like railroad tracks. They are equal distance apart and they'll never touch. They could go endlessly into space and they would never touch. The other one that we have are intersecting lines. That means that they intersect at a point. This is like an intersection. Okay, so they have to cross. They could cross like that, or they could cross real subtly. You know, it could be more of a narrow cross like this. Any kind of intersection. Now we're going to talk about parallel and intersecting lines when they're in an equation. So we have the equation y equals mx plus b that we've been working with. For them to be parallel, the m has to be the same. So parallel is the same m. So in the equation y equals 3x plus 2 and y equals 3x minus 7, your m is the same. So those are parallel. Now if we have y equals 1/3 x plus 4 and y equals a negative 1/3 x minus, those are intersecting because this is a positive and this is a negative, so those are different. So those are intersecting. So same slope is parallel, different slope is intersecting. Okay, the next two questions on the quiz are going to ask you about the dimensions of the matrix or a location of the matrix. Now, for dimension, it's rows times columns. This is, remember, like you'd measure wood, like a 2x4. Okay, so in this case, the above matrix has 4 rows. You can see them row 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the rows would be 4, and it has just 2 columns. So 4 by 2 would be the answer for that. The dimensions are a 4 by 2. And then it's going to ask you for a location. So it might say A31. The A is just always an A. That never changes. But this first number, that is the row. And the second number, that is the column. So if it's asking for row 3, you go down 3 rows. So it has to be in this row here. And then it asks for column 1. So row 3, column 1, the answer for that one is it's an X. That's what's in row 3, column 1. Think of it like any graph that you have to read, like A12. You did those maps when you were a kid that you had to find locations like that. But the first one's the row, the second one is the column. The next few questions on the quiz are all going to revolve around adding or subtracting matrices. The biggest thing that you have to remember here is to, first of all, look and see if it's an addition or a subtraction problem. You can do the whole thing wrong by just messing up if it's supposed to be addition or subtraction. So this one's an addition. So remember, your answer is going to be in a matrix. A lot of people gave me answers that were not in a matrix. So that's going to be a problem if you do that. Okay, and then also remember, you're always adding or subtracting things in the same position. So in this first one, 3 plus 6 is 9. That has to go in the upper left-hand corner. Then 4 plus 2 is 6. That has to go in the upper right-hand corner, just like what you were answering. Then we have 5 and 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Goes in the lower left. And 7 plus 1 is 8. So this has to be what your answer looks like. It can't just be a single number. It has to be a matrix. There has to be the brackets around it. Okay, in this example, we're adding matrices again, but this time we have letters and numbers. So remember that letters and numbers can be multiplied, but they cannot be added and subtracted. So we're going to add 2 and x, but we can't just write 2x. That would be multiplying. Those cannot be added, so you just write 2 plus x. 7 plus 7, that can be added. That's 14. Then we have 3 and 5 in the next position. Those are both numbers, so those can be added to 8. We have y and w. Those cannot be added, so you just write y plus w. We have an x and a 4. Those can't be added because they're a letter and a number, so we just write x plus 4. And then the last one, we have 4 and 6. Those are both numbers. Those can be added to 10. So this is your final answer. Nothing else gets done. Okay, now notice that this one is a subtraction. So 6 minus 4 is 2. 7 minus 3 is 4. 5 minus 6, negative 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Again, the form is written in a matrix form. Okay, for this one, we have 9 minus x in this corner here. You can't do that, so you just write 9 minus x. Then we have 6 minus 4. You can do that because they're both numbers. It is 2. 7 minus 12 would be a negative 5. B minus b. If you have a banana, you get rid of the banana. It's just a 0 there. Okay, the last thing that you need to be able to do is multiply. So multiplying matrices looks like this. So you'd multiply whatever's on the inside, outside by the inside. So you'll do that 4 times and you'll have a 2 by 2 matrix when you're done. So first you'll do 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 7, 21. 3 times 20, 60. And 3 times 9, 27. And that's your answer for that one. Now if we have letters, it gets a little bit different. So we have a times 7, 7a. A times a, that's a squared. A times 6, 6a. And a times b, ab. That should be everything that's covered on the quiz, so you can go ahead and take the quiz now or later today. But I would try to do it when it's fresh in your memory.